Well, hello everyone and welcome to
Eurovision Tea!
I'm the Balkan guy.
I'm Shane's Eurovision review.
I'm Jordan, otherwise known as Jordan Davis Eurovision.
And I'm Vince.
And we are coming to you guys with a whole new series all about Eurovision called Eurovision Tea. And the way it's gonna work, we have these three incredible people besides me, and we are gonna be talking about Eurovision songs that are competing this year, and we're gonna be basically commenting what we think about these certain songs, whether we think they're gonna qualify or not, what we would like to see on the staging for these songs, and basically all the comments that we want to get out there, but also sharing these opinions with each other and seeing how they differ. And maybe it's going to create some drama, maybe it's going to create some tea. We will see. Everything can happen in Eurovision Tea. But also something I would like to mention is after we are done discussing each of the songs, we are going to be talking about whether they're going to qualify, whether they're going to get top 10, and whether they're going to win. And the way we're going to show it is I'm going to ask my lovely friends, Jordan, Shane, and Vince, do you think this song is going to qualify to the final? And then all of us are going to show a mug, and if we think it's going to be in the final, we point it up like the right way up. But if we don't think it's going to be in the final, then we do it like this, meaning we're spilling the tea. And that is why the series is called Eurovision Tea.
Yes!
Woo.
Are y'all excited?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So happy to be here.
I'm sorry I was talking for so long, but yeah, I just wanted to explain the concept, and we can go ahead and get right into our first country and what we think about this song. And first up, we have the Netherlands, and we have Vince, who's going to be talking about it first.
So the Netherlands is my country, and I'm so happy with this entry. I feel like we're really getting back on the right track. Last year was not really like what we were hoping for, but I am so proud to be sending something Dutch and its quality. And I feel like the international people like it as well. If I'm talking to you, I don't know. How do you think about the Dutch language, Eurovision?
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
I've been waiting. Like,
Does it not really sound like aggressive or like really? Everyone says they hate Dutch, but I think it sounds here pretty okay.
well, that's
Right.
kind of what I like about it. You
Yeah.
know, I
Who
like
says they
that it
hate
has
Dutch?
Yeah.
Where's that from?
Well, or we think we are like hate our language, but I
Okay.
think everyone hates it. But it's yeah.
I like the or whatever.
Yeah,
Can you say it,
the
Vince?
the Gans, the
Yeah, that one.
yeah. That's hard. Yeah.
But what I like about it, first of all, it does have that Dutch flavor with the Dutch language, but it also does sound like a pretty commercial song that anyone can listen to.
Yeah.
It kind of like sounds like a song that would be successful on Spotify, and it has kind of like a hook to it. Even if it's in Dutch, people can still kind of hum along and sing along
Yeah.
because the chorus is not necessarily words. It's
No.
just her saying like, ah, and making
Right.
noises. So
Yeah.
everyone can sing along to that even though it's in Dutch.
Yeah.
I agree.
And do you guys get the message of the song where it's going? Have you read about that?
No.
We have no idea.
No idea.
It's pretty deep. She's singing about like her past. She has like a lot of stories already and bad thoughts, and she wants to give like the feeling you're not alone and to get like a better state of mind when you're listening to this song. It's a bit like
See,
that.
But I think that's where like the music itself comes in, because while of course I don't speak Dutch, I
Yeah.
did kind of get that sense of that solitude from just the airiness and the vibe of the song. And so I think the song lends itself well to communicating the message, whether or not you speak Dutch.
Yeah.
For me at least, that conveyed the message.
I know when I did my reaction video, I know Dutch fans were very, very keen and eager to inform me of what she's singing about. Dutch people seem to be really rallying behind the song this year. It is a good song, and as Emma said, that kind of ooh, oh, it does stay in your brain. It is a hook.
Yeah.
We're not obviously ready to talk about whether it's qualifying or not, but I think this is a no-brainer. At the end of the day, I still haven't changed my mind on this song. It sounds really authentic. It's really radio-friendly, and it's going to do really well with juries. And there's a multitude of people out there that are going to tap into this sound. I think Netherlands are back on track.
Netherlands is definitely back on track, but I do have to say one thing that I mind about the song,
Yeah.
and obviously I love it. If you've seen my top, it's really high in my top, but I am missing that wow factor in the song. I feel like even though it does progress, it doesn't progress as much as some previously successful Eurovision songs. I feel like Arcade progressed a lot more, and there was a very clear, oh wow, this is the wow moment, and that was like the big one when the light came down and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm not hearing that in this song. I don't have like a distinct wow moment, and that's something that I'm scared about.
Yeah.
But I hope that through staging, she's gonna be able to clarify what the wow moment is.
Yeah. Have you seen any live performance of her? Or have you also seen her with the lasers, the red lasers?
Vince is on the defensive. Have you seen it live?
I have seen the live performances, and she sounds excellent live, and that was something like I was scared that she would be a Blanche moment and
Oh,
to
yeah.
have like a really bad song and then sound really bad live. But no, she sounds perfect live.
Yes. Great to hear that.
Yeah.
I did like Blanche, even if she was a little nervous. It's okay, girl. Like, I
you know
still like the live performance.
But bless her, like she got the nerves out of the way in the end because it wasn't
Yeah.
that evident when the obviously in the semi-finals and the finals. But what I will
Sure.
say is in regards to this song, I think I said it in my reaction video. There is no kind of peak in this song. It's just a lovely song with like a lovely voice, and it sounds authentic. It's radio friendly. And I think I said, like, it doesn't sound like a song that kind of had Eurovision in... What I mean by that is I think people overthink Eurovision sometimes when they write songs. And there's not that moment in the song. Like, in Duncan Lawrence, there is a moment.
Yeah.
There isn't that moment. It's a good radio-friendly song. But then someone did comment and say this song was actually written for Eurovision. So, like, the fact that she was selected and then this song... Because it doesn't feel like a song that is written for Eurovision.
Yeah,
Right.
I think she just applied like the open submissions, and she just sent a song. They didn't know who she was. She's
Okay.
famous here, but they just found this is the best entry. You're gonna send this one. It's Dutch, okay. It's the best entry. You're gonna send this one.
Okay.
So I think it was just, I don't know. She tried to go to Eurovision last year. She wrote on Twitter, "Okay, guys, how I'm going to Eurovision," and then she applied with this song. But I don't think she really wrote it for Eurovision. But not really sure about that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like, and I think that's what Amma, you were saying. There's not that kind of like that moment, but sometimes
Yeah.
that can be made up with staging. I don't know what
Right.
they will do with staging, but sometimes
Yeah.
that moment can be lighting, etc., etc. But
Well, and
I don't think this is a winner. I don't think it's a
Uh-huh.
winner. It's an easy safe qualifier. Sorry, Vince.
I think we have a chance.
I don't think it's a winner, but like at the end of the day, like I would be very proud if this was my song representing my country. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's very credible. It's very credible.
yeah.
What would you guys like to see on the stage?
I mean, I like the direction that they've been going with the live performances, especially the one with the red lasers. That really has stuck out in my
Yeah.
mind in
Yeah.
terms of live performances that we've gotten from really any song so far. Like, it's just a really striking visual. So something playing off of that, but like you mentioned, I mean, I think they need to do something with the staging to create the moment that may not be there in the structure of the song itself. But I think they can do that. I think they're going in interesting directions with it.
Sean?
Do you want to go, Vince?
Okay, yeah,
What do you want to see?
I think it's gonna be like the staging we saw on the live performance with the lasers, because usually the show is like basic, someone is singing, and they really thought about the camera movements. So I think they will go for that. But if it will be better than that, I'm open for that. But I'm curious to see what we will bring.
Yeah, I think don't overdo it. Being British, we know what happened with our Molly when they overdid it with quite an authentic song. People don't buy into it. So yeah, don't throw kind of the carnival and circus at it. Just keep it
No.
simple. Song
Yeah.
simple. Keep it simple.
I do want to see dancers.
You want to see dancers?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
As in like,
I
as in
would-
what? As in like, dancers?
I see now like Waylon with the word dancing, because that was not like a
Like
dance
contemporary
song.
dancing, I think this is an amazing song. for
Don't do a
contemporary dance.
Waylon. Don't do that Waylon thing that happened. We don't want that.
Not the Valen thing, like,
Okay.
oh, I'm trying to think of us.
Are you talking about
Which-
like as in like a boy and a girl and like pas de deux kind of like really? Well, then, Jordan, this is your thing, right?
It's my
Yeah.
thing. No, that's ballet.
But as in,
I
like,
think he's thinking more contemporary. I think I see what you're getting at. I wouldn't have thought of it, but I think I see what you're saying.
I think it could elevate a song, honestly. If done in a proper way. I think the camera should still be focused on her because she is the moment, she is it. But obviously dancers in the background, I think it could really
as
work out.
in dancers using their movement to communicate the message of the song. Is that what you're saying?
If possible.
Okay.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
curious for that.
I'm curious for that.
Yeah, don't think it's
Should
gonna
we
happen,
move-
but yeah.
I mean, it's just me. I'm stating how I feel. Should we move on to the
Question.
what we think on the chances?
Sure.
Let's spill the tea, guys. Okay, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I keep it in the background
think-
because
I love it.
do you think this song is going to qualify in 3, 2, 1? Hey, okay, all of us think it's going to qualify, obviously.
Pretty surely.
I don't think it's even borderline. I think it's safe.
no.
Right. Solid.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like now there might be more controversy. Do you think that this song is going to be top 10 in Eurovision? In 3, 2, 1.
I don't think it's top 10.
I think it could be. I think it could be if they stage it well. Maybe dancers and lasers.
Yeah,
I don't-
combine it together.
Yeah.
Maybe both. But I do think it could be.
I think the jurors will really love it. Not really sure about the telephone, but I think it's good enough for a top 10.
That's
I would say it
not
does
what I'm
have a
saying. It is
chance.
good enough. It is good enough for top 10. That's not what I'm saying. But I do, like, when you actually look at all of the songs, like, do you remember like the time where like Eurovision fans were going crazy, being like, "This is such a bad year." But like when you now look at the songs, it's actually not a bad year at all. And there's a lot of countries doing what Netherlands are doing and sending a real kind of radio-friendly, authentic. But there's a lot of them, and that's my issue. Some are not going to get lost. But I mean, I not top 10, but I think left-hand side of the board, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess like 11th, 12th, something
But
like
that's
that.
already for us a win, I think. If we qualify with this, first you were like afraid of it, but if we will qualify, it's for because of language. I think for us it's already a win. So that's already good enough.
Okay, and let's go ahead and move into the last segment, and that is, do you think this song is going to win Eurovision? In 3, 2, 1.
Fair.
So they're all spilling the tea. None of us think that the Netherlands is going to win.
But we like it.
Anyone want to talk
But
about
we
it?
We
like
really
it.
do like it. I know. I think the consensus was we all like the song. Nobody dislikes the song. But we like it, obviously, to varying degrees.
Yeah.
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 I'm a bit confused. Like, I was thinking Sean and Jordan think it's gonna win. Did you hold up the cup like,
No,
oh, why?
it was upside down.
What alternative universe is that? It's like it's not coming top 10, but it's going to win.
Sorry.
Ooh, that was funny. So we are going to go ahead and move on to the next song, and next song is Austria. We have Lumix with Pia Maria and the song Halo. Who would like to kick us off with this one? Well, if no one's gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it, because this song is my personal winner. I could not explain to you guys how much I'm in love with this song. I just think it's absolutely incredible. I love the disco Euro pop vibes, and a lot of people have been saying it's like Euro pop and Euro trash. I wish all Euro pop, Euro trash songs were as well composed as this one, because Lumix is such a masterful DJ and masterful music producers. There's so much depth in this in this song, and if you actually listen to it with like proper headphones, you can hear all of the depth behind it. It's not a cheap song at all. It's amazing. I think it's really the vibe that we're needing this year, because there's so many ballads that is going to stand out so much in Eurovision when you hear this pop. And yeah, there's so much I love about this song. What do you guys think?
Austria, I love it. It's my favourite. I can't get enough of it, actually. Like, I listen to it all the time.
It's like, hold the hell up.
I've reflected. I was like, I actually love it. It's my favourite, definitely.
I'm keeping that in. I'm editing out everything else you say. But Shane, what do you actually think about this song?
Okay, I do like this song, and I do stand by kind of the comments that I said in my reaction video. At the end of the day, it's instantaneous, and I think that's the one thing. And it's Eurovision, right? 26 songs, 3 minutes. You need to make sure that you can't afford to be a grower. It has to be instantaneous, and it is. And it's interesting. Last night, as I said, I didn't say sugar.
Say it again.
Yeah. Last night had around 11 or 12 British people living in Italy and watching all the songs. And it was quite interesting seeing their reactions. Generally, people didn't like it. Basically, they were grading songs on originality. They basically said, the song is tired. We've heard the sound so many times. But the two people that actually really loved Eurovision because of Euro bop, Euro beats. Like, it's not camp, is it? But fundamentally, for British people, this sound, for some British people, this is what Eurovision's about. I just don't know now in 2022 if there's enough of those generally across all the countries that are obviously participating in Eurovision. I think we've moved on. If you think about the last couple of winners of Eurovision, I think we've moved on from this sound. I think it's my 6th favourite in the semi-final. Yes, obviously, when I reacted, I said I think it would be my favourite, but I'd had a bad day, and ultimately the song is super, super happy. It's super, super catchy, and I think this is, I know we can't say whether it's going to go through or whatever yet, because that's not the part of the video, but it's a solid song. But yeah, and watching this with other people, it's quite interesting seeing other people's reactions, basically saying that this sound has been done to death. And
I actually wanted to ask you, what was like the age of people? Kind of like, was it like a certain age group you were showing it to, or was it like all over?
Very good question. So I would love to say I was the youngest. I was not. So in all seriousness, it was early 30s to mid 40s.
Okay.
So actually, that's probably a really good point. I hadn't thought of that, actually, the demographic. So yes, they were British, which is important, but actually I didn't really think. Are you saying that this is obviously going to be more popular with younger people, like yourself?
Definitely. I mean, that's something you really need to think about in Eurovision. Eurovision is watched by all different ages.
Yeah.
From little kids to their grandparents. And everyone votes. It's not like certain demographic only votes, so it's like you kind of have to have a song that applies to everyone. And it is a good point that like a certain age group did not respond well with it, because even if just younger people respond with it and vote for it, is it enough? But yeah, Vince, what do you think about the song?
Yeah, I think it's a nice one. I think my favorite part in the song is like the beginning. I was like starting, okay, alright, we're ready, you're in a club or something. But I'm a bit like scared how this will be on the stage. It can feel like maybe awkward. What I really liked in the video clip was the circles above them. I think there was like red circles. I think that effect is very cool, and maybe they can somehow do that on stage. But I'm just really waiting for the live performance to see how it will go. Otherwise, I'm thinking a bit like Poland 2018. Was it like that? It feel like really awkward. But I have it in my playlist and I listen to it to get it better. But it's not like a bop from what I like from Cyprus, what usually Cyprus is bringing. That's what more I like. So it has to grow on me. I'm not really like convinced, like I love this one. No, it's not one of my favorites. It's a 9 to 10 maybe.
Yeah, I don't have like crazy experience with the song. I think I've listened to it a couple of times maybe, but that's more about me than the song at this point. I really do like, I think my favorite thing about it is that Austria is sending it, because I really have not been on the Austria train for the past couple of years. So I'm very happy that they're stepping into a little bit more contemporary era with the rest of us finally. But Yeah, like y'all were saying, I mean, the song is a club banger. It's a great song to listen to. I hope they stage it right. I mean, it's always hard when you have a DJ on stage at Eurovision because it's like, what are they going to do? You're going to put them in the back at a turntable and have them, stand there, and what are you going to do with the singer? So it'll be interesting how they do that, and if they can translate that kind of club feeling onto the stage, because that's another thing that these songs often struggle with is, you can only have 6 people on stage. How can you make it a party with 6 people? People have done it, but you have to be thoughtful, or else it'll just look a little sad, perhaps.
Yeah.
So that'll be a challenge that I'm interested to see how they'll approach.
And I think it's also for Austria a bit like usually they did the last year. I feel like a jury song, but this is more a televote between both of them. So I think they just get away from the jury style and now enjoying more a song. And I saw there was Pia and what's his name, Lumix.
Yeah.
They also sent a German song. I think that was like 2nd place for the selection, but they went with this one. So I think it was also fun to see German for Austria. Yeah.
I obviously know there's a lot of concerns with this song, whether it's the live vocal, whether how it's going to look on stage. But I am very hopeful because this is a very professional and experienced team. And besides them being professional, they're really young.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's not some DJ that's been around for 20 years that has this vision of what Eurovision is. No, like Lumix is really young. He's younger than all of us. And both of them as a team. And I feel like they can bring something really fresh. I feel like they might bring something that none of us are expecting. Because when you think about a song like this, you would never imagine the music video to look like what it looked like. But it was so amazing. And that's because of the amazing team that they have behind them. So I'm really staying hopeful like that if a team was able to make that kind of music video, they can also make pretty good staging. And something that I would personally like from the staging, to be translated from the video, is dynamic camera shots. Like in the music video, the camera is never in one place. It's always moving and it's really fast. Mm-hmm. So even if not a lot is happening, even if there's just 4 dancers dancing, the camera moving like that can make it a lot more dynamic and can make it look like a party. Even if it's just a party of 6.
Sure.
So I think that's like an advantage that they have and something they've already done in music videos. So I'm just hoping they translate that to the stage. And I think that can look pretty good because with the fast beat and the camera moving all the time, I guess we can get a little dizzy. But like, it's the type of dizzy that I would not mind getting.
But do you think there's anything in this song for the juries to get behind?
Yeah.
Like?
I mean, I think... Okay,
yeah.
I personally think the juries this year are going to be giving high points to songs that have potential to kind of like explode on TikTok, explode on Spotify, because the success of Måneskin has also contributed to the success of Eurovision. Like more people than ever before are talking about Eurovision because of the success of Måneskin after winning Eurovision. So I think this year the juries might purposely be looking for more songs like that, like someone who can be successful afterwards. And I think this might be a song probably with the most potential to explode worldwide. And Lumix is already famous, so it's not like something new. He's already exploded.
Well, you were saying earlier that this is quite successful on Spotify, right?
Yeah, so not a lot of people know, but this is one of the most listened to songs from this year on Spotify. It has like a ton more views than like most songs that you would think that are favorites that you would think are doing well. No, like I think this is in top 5 of the most listened to songs on Spotify.
All I'll say is obviously yes, originality. But I mean, if you're going to come with this sound, I think that they've done it very well. And I think the comparison with Czech Republic is quite apt here. Like I think that's an example where it's not as good. So this is much better than Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know which one you were saying was not as good.
Austria.
I was concerned a little bit too.
Austria. No, if you're going to do this sound, come with this sound and at least make it an earworm. And it's a really good 3 minutes. And like I said, in the first 20 seconds, it's instantaneous, and that's what you need at Eurovision.
But I think where a lot of awkwardness with the previous DJ entries came was with the drop. Because it's so hard to stage a drop. And that was the issue with Poland, that was the issue with Finland, and that is gonna be an issue this year with Czech Republic. Because when there's a drop and they're just like shaking their head,
Moving.
it's kind of like boring.
Right.
But this song doesn't have a drop. This song has a vocal all throughout. So
Yeah.
that's why I don't know why people are even comparing it. Yes, there's a DJ, but the song itself sounds like a typical pop song.
I think the comparison's apt. I think it's appropriate to compare the two, but to compare the two to highlight the fact that actually Austria is doing something good. Yeah.
Oh, so you're implying the Czech Republic is not? I guess we're gonna get into that in one of the future
I'm
episodes.
gonna say, well, put a pin in that.
Shane's gonna be spilling some tea. Any last remarks before we go ahead and get into the voting?
Jordan, you have amazing poker face.
Oh, sorry. That was just my. It really was not a poker face.
I'm including that.
I was.
Okay, is everyone ready to spill the tea on the Austrian entry?
I am.
Okay, Vince is ready. I feel like this is gonna be controversial, but yeah. Do you think we're gonna say something?
What? No.
Me getting ready to go into fight mode to protect my lovely Austria.
Right, I could hear it in the voice. You were ready.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm very protective of this song. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think that this song is going to qualify to the final in 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Can I do this?
You cannot do that. Yes or no?
No,
Oh.
I literally, my 10th and 11th keep changing. There's one song in episode 2, and it's this song. It's either going to be 10th or 11th, but I will, okay, Shane, just do it. Right, it is my 10th, so yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
You get to live
Everyone
this
thinks
time,
it's gonna qualify. At least that's good to hear. I want to see Austria in the final.
I think they will.
Okay. So, do you guys think that this song is going to be in the top 10 in 3, 2, 1? Oh my god, guys.
You gotta stand
no
alone
way.
on this one, friend.
All I'm gonna say is, have you guys looked at the My Eurovision scoreboard app? Because Austria is 5th.
Yeah, amongst Eurovision
didn't-
fans.
And it's
Right.
Spain. Spain is first.
I don't know.
And didn't like the Eurovision Twitter community get a song up like 20 places on that app just because of some chatting on Twitter? So I don't
was
take
Bulgaria.
the My Scoreboard app with
No.
100% validity.
Exactly. So, like, my memory of, like, my kind of go-to about Eurovision fans just be... do you remember the days of Hira Bjork, Je ne sais quoi? Like, that was, like, everyone's top 3. Like, you've just got to realise Eurovision fans make up, like, 0.8% of the votes.
I mean, to be fair, I will say Amnesia last year was 6th on My Eurovision scoreboard app. And we all know what happened. It didn't even qualify. So I don't have to talk about how much I cried when that happened.
R.I.P.
And I guess I'm the only one that's left. Do I think this song can win Eurovision? Okay.
We're looking at you.
3, 2, 1. And we'll spill the tea. Do I think there's a small chance if they have the most amazing performance? Yes, it could somehow pull it out, but realistically, I don't think Austria is going to win it.
It's not jury bait. It's not. It won't have the jury. It won't have the jury.
Okay, and the next song that we are going to be talking about is Denmark. And would anyone like to start us off with this one? I can't go this time because I was last.
Cool.
I'll start.
Okay, yeah, go. No. Oh, Lucy.
Look,
Yes.
I am a Denmark apologist, okay? And I will ride this boat until the day I die. I know that it is like me and 23 other people on the planet Earth, but like, I really like what Denmark is singing this year. I do. It's a feel-good song. I like that it's an all-women band. You can tell how much fun they're having on stage. And I don't know, like I said, when I listen to the song, I feel good, like in my body. You know, I feel good. I feel happy. It makes me smile. And so, you know, whatever the results are going to be, obviously we'll do our votes later. But I really appreciate what Denmark is sending, and I don't think that it's comparable really to any other of the rock type songs we have. It is in its own lane, and so I value that as well. And also, I didn't know until some people told me that the drummer from this was the drummer in another of my favorite of Denmark's songs, Shoulda Known Better. It's the same drummer.
Which year was that? 2000?
Really?
Jordan, did you like that song?
Shoulda Known Better? Oh, it's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Which
from
year is that
Denmark.
again?
Oh.
I think it's 2012, right?
2012.
Oh, and yeah.
Vince,
I love that song.
Vince, you're so young. Actually, I've realised there's a proper age gap, actually.
I was gonna say, how old is everybody? Are we similar in age? Like,
No, there's a huge gap, but I know, between me and Anna. I'm mid-30s.
I'm 19.
oh wow.
Yeah. I haven't
You're a
watched your...
baby!
Yeah.
Little did we know.
2013 was my first Eurovision year. It's Anouk. When was your first year? Okay, it's Denmark. Sorry, I'm talking about Denmark. We're talking about Denmark.
Well, first of all, I'm 23. I just turned
Happy
23
birthday.
actually.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And Denmark 2012 was my second place. I'm absolutely in love with Should Have Known That Better.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane, I see your eyes. Don't roll your eyes at me. It was an amazing song, and it was such a feel-good song.
So good.
Okay, Denmark this year. Well, I actually quite like this one. Obviously, I know we'll do the whole kind of like whether we think it will qualify later. I will say what Jordan said is actually a plus. One thing I noticed last night, watching this with 11 or 12 other British people, is the fact that it's an all-British band playing all-female band playing instruments. Sorry. Is a huge plus. And actually, if you think over the years, and can you actually think, because the only one that I can think of, Jordan, you might be with me here, Vanilla Ninja, can you think of any other female band
I
that
love Vanilla Ninja.
played instruments? I think, well, that qualified. I'm not saying it's the same sound,
Sure.
but like, I think that's a
Interesting.
huge plus, because actually there was one or two people last night that actually took note the fact that it was females playing instruments, and I think that's a huge plus. And I mean, when I first listened to it, I thought it had that kind of like 99 Red Balloons vibe, right? Did anyone else pick up that vibe? I kind of did, but I actually quite like this one, actually. And I know, and I was saying this last night, I know a lot of people do not like this song. And if you look at kind of all rankings, whether it's betting or whether it's Eurovision fans or scoreboards, this is right down there. I think it's better than that. I actually think it's quite a good song.
I have not really much to say about this entry. I've heard it a couple of more times, but it doesn't really stuck in my mind. I like what you just said. It's like all female in the band. I think that's cool, and I can remember when that happened on Eurovision, like which act. So I think that's a plus point for this one. But yeah, I just not feel anything excited about this. In the beginning, she's behind the piano. It's like a ballad-ish vibe, and then the rock came in with a bit like a Måneskin from Denmark, but not like as rockish. I'm just not really a big fan of this one. I don't really have much to say about it.
Okay, I do like this song. I will say, like, I don't necessarily have anything negative towards it, but I just feel like I don't love it enough to like be like, oh my god, yes, like this is one of my favorites. But I also don't dislike it at all. I think, again, it's good. It's good, feel good vibes, which always usually do really well in Eurovision. So I do like that, and just like everyone else, I like that it's an all-female band. It's very unique in Eurovision, and that might be the reason why they qualify. at the end. I guess if I had to point out one thing that I'm not sure how I feel about in this song, it is that beginning. And I actually wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about the beginning of this song? Because it just starts off with just her on the piano. I actually like it, but I think it goes on for a little too long.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a nice beginning, okay, draw you into the song, but it should not have been that long.
That's my biggest concern, and particularly seeing it again last night with other people who aren't Eurovision fans, is people that tune into Eurovision are so fickle because they're not Eurovision fans, right? And so you do try and find moments where you can go and grab a drink or go to the toilet or whatever. And regrettably, the first part of the song isn't the best part of the song. I actually think once you've listened to the whole thing, actually the positive thing about the song is it does have layers. But initially at the beginning of the song, I did notice people were talking. And it was only when the beat kicked in that people stopped talking. So I think, again, you've got 3 minutes and people are so fickle. Will they assume it's a ballad and not a great ballad if we think about the first 20 seconds? Will people tune out and do something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same concern, the same issue with the song. Like, I think it could be, 15, 20 seconds shorter. And that way, hopefully it would lose fewer people. I mean, they really could, if they wanted to, pull an Albania and cut some of that intro, slow piece off the front so that you don't lose people from, a drawn out, really slow, really a little bit tired intro. Because I do think the transition is good. Like, I like that there's the contrast, but you got to keep people to the point where it changes for them to see that. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's like the moment when you see it's changing, like, okay, we're back, and then you get the sheet is different and again new attention, but I think it's also too long.
I would like to see them doing something like special and something cool on the stage that could maybe make them stand out, because from their performance on the Dansk Melody Grand Prix, it looked beautiful. But I don't think it looked beautiful because of what they did. I think it looked beautiful because the stage itself, the stage design is beautiful. And it's probably my favorite stage design on any national final. So I'm just scared how that's going to translate on the Eurovision stage. And I feel like because on the Melody Grand Prix, the staging is very triangular and it fits the rock vibe, while in Italy it's going to be circular with the sun. And that, like, when you think about a sun, you don't necessarily think about rock vibes.
I'm not worried about Denmark with staging. I don't think I've ever been worried with Denmark with staging. They always deliver that. This is the first song that we're reviewing that actually got through a national final, right? The other two songs that we've just talked about. I personally think this was the obvious choice for Denmark. But I will say,
definitely.
Following Denmark Grand Prix over the years, I have noticed it is getting not as great. But this was the best song that, out of all the songs that Denmark could have picked, they picked the right one. This is the one that has the best chance of qualifying. But I understand what you're saying about the staging, but I'm not worried about Denmark. They know how to do staging, from my experience.
Something that often happens with me and the Danish national final is I often compare the songs to Yes, because Yes never got a chance to actually participate in Eurovision. And for the past 2 years, if Yes had participated in any of the past 2 years, it would have been a landslide win for Ben and Tan. Because I feel like none of the songs could even touch them. And that's why I guess I get disappointed a little bit, but I agree with Shane. This was by far the best song in the national final. What would you guys like to see on the staging for this?
I think they will keep it very similar to the national final stage, actually. I don't think they will change that much. So I'm fine with that. I think it will do not well, but that's for later. But I don't think they will change anything and make it better, actually.
Thinking about it last night, actually, again, watching people watching it, what people quite liked is that interaction with the band, like near the end, where they come together. Like, this question I'm not going to be very good at. I'm not very creative. So in regards to staging, lighting, I'm not going to add much value. But in regards to remembering last night, what people really responded to was the fact that actually when they came together and they interacted with each other at the end of the song, people really liked that. So make sure that's in.
Yeah, I don't think they really need to change much with the staging. It doesn't need to be complicated because it is about the band and the individuals interacting, like you said, Shane. And so I think that should and needs to remain the highlight. And so I don't necessarily think, they need anything crazy in addition to this. I mean, like I said, it's a feel-good song, that whether it qualifies or not is catchy. And it's about the band. So I don't really know what more they could do staging wise other than just have a fun time with each other, showing that they're having a great time on stage.
Female energy, girl power.
Pyros.
I mean, something you guys are mentioning, and it's kind of something that I've thought about a lot, is the expectations of rock performers at Eurovision is so much less than pop songs. I feel like when there's pop songs, all of us are expecting this crazy staging, this new concept that has never been seen before, but every rock group that comes to Eurovision has almost the same exact staging. And it's never expected from them to bring anything more. It's always like, oh yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
That's all we need. I disagree with that. I wish Italy last year would have brought more. And they did do a few things different with the shades, their shades and the entrance, and I thought that was really cool. But I wish rock artists in Eurovision would put more effort into staging than pop artists.
But do you not think actually in regards to particularly rock songs, that the people that are picking up the phone for those rock songs don't care about staging? People that pick up the phone for kind of pop songs do care about the staging.
But maybe these rock artists would get people who would have usually voted for some pop song to actually vote for them because of their staging.
Because I think Måneskin could have had nothing and it probably still would have won based on the fact that so many people tapped into that. I just think if you're going with a pop song and knowing the people that pick up the phone for pop songs, pop bops or whatever we want to call them, staging is part and parcel of why we pick up the phone. I've never picked up the phone for a rock song. I will be honest with you. It's not my sort of thing. But so therefore, if you're going to come with a pop song, you come with the staging. But I think with rock songs, I think people will just pick up the phone because they ultimately tap into that. I don't think blind channels it was great, but I think people were going to pick up the phone for that song regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, is people are picking up the phones and voting for them, even though they didn't put nearly as much effort as pop artists.
Oh, so you're calling that out and saying that they should actually make more effort with their staging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Shall we go ahead and spill the tea on Denmark?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Are you guys ready? Is Denmark going to qualify to the final in 3, 2, 1?
Oh, I was thinking you would think it will qualify, actually.
Interesting. So none of us think it's going to qualify.
As much as I want it to, I just haven't seen much in the way of buy-in from really any corner of the fandom. I mean, there are songs where, it's not a huge hit, but there are pretty strong subsets of people that like it. And I really haven't even seen that in many spaces that I've traversed. And so as much as I would maybe like it to qualify, and as much as it might qualify in, my personal grand final, I'm also not delusional. So if it does, I'll be super happy, but I'm not super confident at this point.
I think that's the point we need to say here. We are actually basically judging whether this will qualify. It's not about personal preferences. It's just taking it on kind of complete kind of gut feeling whether it's going to go through. If you do rank and you look at all these songs, I think this is a great song, but with other songs in front of it, I can't see this getting through.
Yeah.
Agree with everything you guys said?
Yeah, I think they will just get 3 points, 2 points, and that's not enough in some countries, or nothing, and that's not enough to get in the top 10.
So apparently the guy behind Dansk Melody Grand Prix is a new guy. Well, as in he's been in charge of the last few years, and apparently he's selecting songs that would be popular on Danish radio stations. So basically, if Denmark don't qualify this year, then I think they need to go back to the drawing board, because I always, growing up, had Denmark as kind of a powerhouse country. So if it doesn't qualify, it needs to be a wake-up call in Denmark, because I'm used to Denmark just sending absolute legend songs.
But as you just said, I think I just watched a recap of the Danish national final, and there were a lot of Danish songs as well. Like, from my feeling, Denmark was always sending something in English, but there were like 7 out of 10 was Danish this year. So they're really going for the Danish way, but then the English song won.
That's not a bad thing, but ultimately, the songs generally, like, I'm actually quite used to every year kind of having at least kind of 4 of them in my kind of like favourite national final songs. This year, no.
Yeah. It was not a good selection.
Yeah. Okay guys, let's go ahead and move on to the last song for this episode of Eurovision Tea. And for the last song, we have Norway, Subwoofer, Give That Wolf a Banana. Who would like to start us off? I think Shane hasn't started us off at all first, so I think this one is yours.
I really like this song. I do. I know it's gimmicky, but nonetheless, it's got a catchy tune. And again, I'll just keep referring to last night. Being surrounded by British people, of course British people are going to love this. I think this is where British televotes are going to go. I think a lot of people are surprised this is not actually closing the semi-final, which makes me think that Armenia has crazy staging. But nonetheless, I think we pretty much know the identity of both the Wolves now, and one of them is Ben Adams from A1, who's British, so loving that. But nonetheless, even though, yes, there were some other songs in Norway that they could have picked, which I would have preferred, but I think if you're going to send a gimmicky song, then Norway has massively done well with this. I think this is going to do really well. It's my 3rd favourite in the semi-final, and I think, yeah, it's a good one.
I really like it too. I think it's going to be one of the televote winners this year, or the semi-final, maybe the winner from the semi-final itself. I agree with you. I think there are better choices in the national selection, like Lisa Bay. I really like that one, so I really hope they will bring the juries into Melody Grand Prix to make it a bit like televote and the juries, because I think Tix won as well last year because of the televote and not because it was the best song. I think Kanye was the best song. But it's a really crazy Eurovision entry with weird lyrics, and everyone will remember it for the weird dance, the looks. It's so all over the top and weird, but so Eurovision. I think this can come top 10 in Eurovision this year, for sure actually. Top 3 with the televote. Yeah, I think this will do great.
I guess I can go ahead and go next. I don't agree that this wasn't the best choice for Norway. My personal #1 song in Melody Grand Prix was Sophie with Made of Glass, but I'm not an idiot. I know this song is better for Eurovision than Sophie's song, and I think this was the best choice for Norway, and they made the correct choice this year. I think Elsie's song would have gotten lost in the grand final. I think this is a big standout. There is no way that people are not going to remember this. It is probably the most iconic song this year, and songs like this generally do really well in Eurovision. If you look at the top 10 last year in Eurovision, it was mostly gimmicky songs. It was songs that were goofy, that had something unique to them. And this year we don't have as many songs like that. So I feel like Norway is really going to stand out, and that because of that potentially can do really well. We all know it's televote bait, but I personally think it's also jury bait because of the fact that it's such a well-produced song. And this is a song that could chart really well worldwide. So I think this was by far the best choice that Norway could have made.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
yeah.
also a big fan of Norway's song this year. Kind of building on what Shane said, like, if you're going to do a gimmick, at least give us a good tune with it, you know, so that people who enjoy the gimmick can enjoy the gimmick, but people who, you know, enjoy a nice up-tempo, kind of, you know, borderline clubbish sounding song can enjoy the song itself, even if it's, you know, silly lyrically perhaps. But the other thing that I really like about it is that Subwoofer has taken so much time and care to cultivate the whole world that this song takes place in. Like, you know, from Twitter to TikTok to everything, like they don't break character. And I love that. Even in interviews, when they do the little transmitting their thoughts into their like translator guy so that you don't hear them talk, like all those little things really just make it more enjoyable for me. Cause I'm like, they are really dedicated to it. And it, like I said, it builds a world instead of just having this gimmick happen on stage and then, you know, they take their masks off and everybody knows that it's, you know, fake. Like it's fun to pretend like, you know, suspend your disbelief and just pretend like, wow, these weird ass yellow Jim and Keith wolves are really here just, you know, discovering their revolving doors, wreaking havoc around Norway. Like it's
conquering the
great.
earth.
And
That is their
conquering
goal.
the earth, right? Yeah. So I really like it for that too.
Do you think they will do a face reveal anytime in Eurovision or like after Eurovision?
It would have to be after Eurovision, right? They can't. They can't break it yet, right?
I don't
It'd
think
have
they
to be
will do
after
it.
Eurovision.
I think they're gonna do it like maybe when their televote score is announced.
Oh, in the green room.
But
that-
again,
yeah.
a lot of these acts are thinking post Eurovision. You don't want to do that because potentially, if it does really well, then they're going to want to continue as Subwoofer, right?
Like Kano
I
did.
feel like Subwoofer was made for Eurovision. Like,
No,
I don't think
I'm
it's
I'm
necessarily-
totally with you, but there's loads of examples where things are kind of for Eurovision, and then suddenly they obviously just excel, and so as a result, you just want to cash in, right?
Like Kano. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I do agree with Jordan regarding. I've said this in one of my videos. I wish other artists put this much effort into Eurovision.
Have you?
Like Subwoofer is taking Eurovision like it is the biggest song contest in the world. And I love that because it is the biggest song contest in the world. So everyone should be taking it as seriously as they are. And that's what I really appreciate about them.
Have you also
Sorry,
seen like
guys.
what they did on social media with like Cornelia? They did performance of Chanel from Spain. They really made like
Yeah.
a funny video. I really like
Exactly.
that. Take the time to do that as well.
And Keith was pretty good at dancing. Like, I don't know if you all saw, but I mean, I'm not saying he could match Chanel. No one can match
Sure.
Chanel, but like, he's a fair contender.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that they should change any of the staging from Melody Grand Prix?
That staging was quite small, wasn't it, from memory? So obviously the staging can be a lot larger. So no, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, do we know if they're going to have what's the technical terminology about the screening in the background?
Oh.
That's, you know, when countries that have got a lot of money, they have what, LED screens. Is that what
Oh,
the phrase?
the LEDs.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't think there was anything necessarily. I can't remember now from MGP, but I don't remember there being a lot of kind of wow visuals behind.
Yeah.
Does anyone know in the Torino stage, is there going to be LED screens?
Yes, the
I
whole
think,
circle
yeah.
that rotates is an LED
Right.
screen.
Well, then the world's their oyster, right? With this song, with imagery.
Well, exactly. Like, I think this stage would lend itself really well to exploring the space theme even further if they wanted to.
For sure.
I would only change the
And then-
outfits from the dancers and just copy paste it more pyros. But I don't like the outfits from the dancers somehow. It looks a bit like mwah. But the rest is good. I think it's really Eurovision ready.
I didn't like the outfits of the dancers in their Heat. Which Heat were they in? Heat 2 performance. But they changed it for the grand final of Melody Grand Prix, and it was so much better. So I'm happy now with the outfits. But I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the LEDs, and I honestly think this country this song can win televote.
Yeah.
I agree, and I want to thank Norway because obviously in 2 or 3 years' time, when I go to a Eurovision party and we've got to do fancy dress, I've got it, right? Woof.
Yeah. Are you guys ready to spill the tea on Norway?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like this is a no-brainer, but do you guys think that this song is going to qualify to the final?
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you guys think that this song is going to be in top 10 in 3, 2, 1? Okay, we all agree it's going to be in top 10. Interesting.
But
And
now,
last question. Do you guys think that this song has a chance to win Eurovision 2022 in 3, 2, 1?
it has a chance, but it will not win, I think.
I don't think it will.
I think we've all established that Televote's got it, but like juries, it can't, right?
I voted yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, if we are thinking who's gonna win, then we can only vote yes on one song. That's why I asked the question, does it have a chance?
Sure.
And I do think that this song has a chance to win. I see a path for them to win. And I do see them getting enough jury points because of how well it is produced. So yeah.
Yeah. I just really like it's like a gimmick song, but it's just well produced, so you will like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to everyone watching this episode of Eurovision Tea. That is it. Those are all the 4 countries that we're going to be discussing in this episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and comment. Make sure to let us know down in the comments, what do you think about these 4 entries? Do you think they're going to qualify? Do you think they're going to be top 10? And do you think they have a chance to win Eurovision? Make sure to subscribe to all 4 of our channels because I can speak for the 3 of these guys that they're amazing and their videos are amazing, so you should definitely go ahead and check them out. And yeah, that is it for this video. We hope that you liked it and that you're going to continue watching this series because we're going to be recording episodes for all of the following songs, and we're going to be discussing all the songs in this year's Eurovision because that is what we're all about. We love the Eurovision Song Contest. And that is it. We hope to see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.